Ethan's ship descended slowly through the thick purple clouds of the alien planet, its hull shivering with every gust of wind. He pressed his hands against the console, eyes scanning the data streams that showed the planet's surface. Nothing in human history had prepared him for this. Vast cities stretched as far as he could see, their towers glittering faintly under the strange light of a nearby sun. But the cities were empty. No movement, no life, only the hum of long-abandoned machines. "Are you sure this is the right place?" called Lieutenant Maya, his companion, her voice tense. She was a seasoned explorer, brave in the face of danger, but even she sounded uneasy now. Ethan shook his head, keeping his eyes fixed on the scanning monitor. "It has to be. The readings match the coordinates. We just need to land and get a closer look." The landing was rough. The ship's thrusters dug into the soft ground, throwing small stones into the air. Dust rose in thick clouds, but Ethan remained calm, guiding the vessel safely to the surface. When the dust cleared, the real scale of the planet's deserted city became clear. Towering spires of glass and metal reflected the dim light, some cracked or toppled, yet they still held a strange elegance. Ethan stepped out of the ship first, the air strange in his lungs, but breathable. The ground beneath him was firm, with a metallic sheen that hinted at alien minerals. He took a cautious step forward, scanning the city for life signs. His heart beat faster. Somewhere in this silence he felt something watching. Then it came, a movement in the tallest tower, almost too quick to notice. Ethan froze but instinctively reached for his scanner. The readings spiked, something alive, something powerful. Before he could react, the air shimmered and a figure appeared on the platform above him. She moved with fluid grace, her form both humanoid and unlike any human Ethan had ever seen. Her eyes were a deep silver, glowing faintly in the dim light, and her long hair seemed to float as if underwater. She wore a robe that shimmered like liquid metal, and around her neck hung symbols that Ethan could not recognize. "I am Queen Lyra," she said, her voice calm but carrying an authority that seemed to vibrate in the air. "Why do you come to my world, human?" Ethan's mind raced. He had trained for encounters with alien life, but this was different. This was power in its purest form, intelligence sharpened to an edge he could feel even from a distance. He bowed slightly, not out of fear, but as a gesture of respect. "I am Ethan," he said steadily. "I come from Earth, from humanity. We explore, we seek knowledge. I mean no harm to you or your people. I only wish to understand and learn." Lyra's eyes studied him, narrowing slightly. "Most humans are timid. Most are afraid of what they cannot control. You are not afraid." Ethan's heart skipped a beat. It was true. He had been trained to face danger, but he had never considered courage as his defining trait. Yet here, in front of a being who could probably crush him with a thought, he did not flinch. Lyra's expression shifted, a mixture of curiosity and amusement. "Curiosity is dangerous, human," she said softly. "But perhaps it is also rare. Step closer and I will decide your fate." Ethan took a careful step forward. His scanner beeped frantically, warning him of intense energy emanating from her, yet he did not hesitate. Every instinct told him to run, but something inside urged him to stay. He wanted to understand, to connect, to prove that humanity could be more than weak prey in a universe full of predators. When he reached the platform, Lyra extended her hand. Her touch was electric, yet strangely warm. Ethan felt a connection he could not explain. "You humans," she murmured, "have such strange hearts. Brave yet fragile, clever yet reckless. I will observe you. Perhaps you are different," Ethan nodded. "I will do whatever you require. I only wish to learn and help if I can." Lyra tilted her head, studying him with eyes that seemed to pierce his very thoughts. "Help? Many come here thinking they can help, but their kind usually brings only destruction."
"Why should I trust you?"
Ethan considered this carefully. "Because I will not act out of fear or greed. Because I will not destroy what I do not understand. I know humans are not perfect, but we can think, adapt, and protect. I will prove my intentions to you." For a moment the silence was heavy. Then Lyra spoke again, softer this time. "Very well. You will come with me. You will face trials, human. If you survive, perhaps you will earn a place here, among my people." Ethan swallowed hard. Trials. He had faced dangerous environments, hostile wildlife and uncharted space, but the idea of facing a ruler of an entire planet, this was new. and yet something inside him stirred. Challenge had always brought out the best in humans. Lyra moved first, walking down the platform toward a massive chamber embedded in the tower. Ethan followed, careful not to stumble over the glowing pathways that led to the entrance. The chamber doors opened automatically, sliding apart with a hiss to reveal a vast room filled with strange machinery and glowing alien symbols. "Your first trial will test your mind," Lyra said. "The city has many secrets, many puzzles. You must solve them, or leave this world as nothing more than a failed visitor." Ethan's pulse quickened. This was not just a physical test, but one that required intellect, strategy, and observation. He stepped forward, scanning the patterns on the walls. Some symbols shifted when touched. Others reacted to sound. He realized quickly that this was a test of creativity, not brute strength. Hours passed as Ethan navigated the chamber, each puzzle more complex than the last. Sometimes he felt Lyra's gaze upon him, unseen but felt, guiding yet observing. He solved intricate sequences, unlocked hidden panels, and discovered messages from Lyra's ancestors. They spoke of wisdom, resilience, and a hope for the future, a future now resting partly on his shoulders. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, the last panel clicked into place. A soft hum filled the chamber, and the walls shifted to reveal an inner courtyard, lush with alien plants and glowing water. Lyra was waiting, her arms folded, watching silently. "You have done well," she said, her voice calm but carrying approval. "Most humans would have failed. Most would have fled, yet you have the mind to survive here. And more importantly, you have the heart to respect it." Ethan felt a mix of relief and pride, but he also understood that this was only the beginning. This planet, its people, and the Queen herself were a test of something larger than survival. It was a test of humanity's ability to rise above fear, to show courage, compassion, and ingenuity. Lyra stepped closer, her silver eyes reflecting the soft glow of the alien flora. "You are rare, Ethan of Earth. I do not give trust easily, but I feel something in you that is worth watching. Stay close, human. The trials will continue, but for now, rest." As Ethan looked around the courtyard, he realized that he had entered a world that would challenge everything he knew. But more than that, he had made an impression on a being of immense power, something no human had ever done before. And in the quiet moment before night fell over the alien city, he sensed that this encounter would change not just his life, but the course of humanity in ways he could not yet imagine. Lyra's voice, soft and almost personal, lingered in his mind as he settled in for the night. "I will be watching, Ethan. You are different." Ethan closed his eyes, letting the alien sounds of the city wash over him. He felt a spark of something extraordinary, a connection not just to this planet, but perhaps to the Queen herself. The journey ahead would be dangerous, filled with unknown trials, but for the first time in his life he did not feel fear. He felt purpose, and that, Ethan thought as he drifted to sleep, was what made him human. Morning arrived slowly over the alien city, painting the skies with pale streaks of blue and violet. Ethan awoke to the soft sound of flowing water from the courtyard's glowing streams. He stretched, feeling a strange mix of excitement and anxiety. Today would be different. Today he would face his first true trial under Queen Lyra's watch. He stepped lightly onto the courtyard floor, feeling the gentle hum of the alien stones beneath his boots. The air smelled faintly sweet, with the scent of unknown flowers that shimmered with soft bioluminescence. As he approached the edge of the courtyard, he saw Lyra waiting by a tall doorway. "Good morning, human," she said, her voice calm and authoritative. "You have done well to rest. But today we will test your mind and your judgment. Follow me," Ethan nodded, heart steady. He had no fear, only curiosity. The Queen led him through a series of corridors, each more intricate than the last. The walls were lined with alien symbols that glimmered faintly, responding to their movement. Some symbols shifted when Ethan walked past, others remained still as if observing him. Finally, they arrived at a massive chamber. Its walls curved upward, disappearing into darkness, and in the center was a circular platform surrounded by floating orbs that pulsed with soft light. The chamber seemed alive, almost breathing, and Ethan could feel the energy in the air vibrating softly against his skin. "This is your first trial," Lyra explained. "These orbs represent challenges from the past rulers of this planet. To succeed, you must reach the central platform without triggering failure. Each step requires careful thought, observation, and creativity. Remember, the test is not just about strength, it is about intelligence, balance, and awareness. Ethan took a deep breath and stepped onto the first orb. It floated slightly under his weight, wobbling but steady. He concentrated, observing patterns in the light pulses and movements. Some orbs responded to speed, others to weight, and a few reacted only when approached in a certain sequence. It was a test of logic, intuition, and patience. Hours passed as Ethan moved from orb to orb. He nearly misstepped several times, feeling the platform tilt dangerously beneath him, but each time he adjusted, sweat ran down his face, yet he did not falter. The orbs seemed to respond to him, shifting subtly as if the chamber itself was learning from his actions. Lyra observed silently from the edge of the chamber, her expression unreadable. She noted how Ethan adapted to challenges, how he paused to think instead of rushing, and how he remained calm even when failure seemed imminent. Most humans would have panicked or grown frustrated. Ethan did neither. At the final sequence, the chamber shifted dramatically. The orbs rearranged into a complex spiral that required precise timing to navigate. Ethan's heart pounded, but he focused, moving carefully and deliberately. Each step was a test of coordination, logic, and composure. Finally, he reached the central platform. A soft hum filled the chamber, and the orbs dissolved into glowing patterns on the walls. "You have done well," Lyra said, stepping forward. "Few humans could have succeeded. You have intelligence, patience, and courage, but the trials are only beginning. Knowledge alone is not enough. You must also prove your heart." Ethan nodded, understanding that this trial would be different. The first tested his mind. The next would test his character, his compassion, and his ability to make difficult choices. Lyra led him into another part of the city, where the ruins of an ancient plaza stood. Here Ethan saw creatures unlike anything on Earth. Small, delicate beings with translucent wings fluttered between columns, while larger, more formidable creatures guarded the perimeter. Lyra explained that the plaza was used to train the Queen's advisors in compassion and diplomacy, ensuring they could protect both the weak and the strong. "You will interact with these creatures," Lyra said. "Some will test your patience. Others will challenge your judgment. Remember, strength without wisdom and compassion is meaningless." Ethan stepped forward carefully. A small creature with glowing eyes and tiny limbs approached him, chirping softly. It seemed injured, its wing bent awkwardly. Ethan knelt and examined it using a small scanner from his pack. The wing had a fracture, but nothing permanent. He gently adjusted it and applied a basic stabilizer, keeping the creature calm. Lyra watched silently. Most humans would ignore the small ones. They see only danger or insignificance. You see potential in life. That is rare. As the day continued, Ethan faced more challenges. He helped a group of creatures trapped under fallen rubble, negotiated a tense standoff between two rival species over limited food supplies, and found creative solutions to prevent conflicts without harming either side. Each time, Lyra observed, sometimes from a distance, sometimes from close by, measuring his decisions carefully. By the evening, Ethan was exhausted but unbroken. Lyra guided him to a quiet area where glowing plants provided soft illumination. They sat together in silence for a moment. "You surprise me, human," Lyra said finally. "You are clever, brave, and your heart is unusual. Most humans would fail these trials, yet you have succeeded beyond expectation." Ethan smiled, though tired. "I only do what feels right. I want to understand this world, its people, and you. I want to prove that humans are capable of more than just survival." Lyra's silver eyes softened slightly. "You speak of understanding, yet humans often take without thought. Yet, you are different. You listen, you observe, you act with care. Perhaps this is why I am drawn to you, Ethan. Not merely as a curiosity, but as something more." Ethan's heart skipped a beat. He had not expected to hear such words. Not from a being of immense power who had watched his every move. He stayed silent, unsure how to respond, yet he did not pull away. "Tomorrow," Lyra continued, "the final trial will test your courage in a way no mind can prepare for. You will face danger, real danger. It will not be simulated. Success will require trust. Trust in yourself, in me, and in what humans can do when they face the unknown." Ethan nodded, feeling a mix of anticipation and determination. He understood that this was more than a test of skill, it was a test of humanity itself. Could a human survive, adapt, and inspire even the most powerful beings in the galaxy? He intended to prove it. As night fell over the alien city, Ethan walked among the glowing flora, reflecting on the day. He had faced puzzles that challenged his mind, dilemmas that tested his compassion, and creatures that demanded his patience. Each challenge had taught him something new, not just about the planet, but about his own capabilities as a human. Lyra joined him quietly, standing beside him as they looked out over the ruins below. The wind whispered through the alien trees, carrying soft, melodic tones that seemed almost like a song. Ethan felt a strange calm in her presence, a sense that he was not merely being tested, but being guided towards something greater. "You have done well today," Lyra murmured, her hand brushing against his shoulder lightly. "Remember this feeling, human. Trials are not just for survival. They are for growth, understanding, and connection. Tomorrow your courage will be tested in ways that may change both our lives forever." Ethan nodded silently, absorbing her words. He understood that this was more than a test, it was an invitation. An invitation to prove that humanity, though small and fragile compared to powerful alien races, could rise, adapt, and inspire even the most advanced civilizations. And as he settled to rest that night under the soft glow of the alien stars, Ethan felt a spark of purpose unlike anything he had known before. The trials had only begun, but he was ready. For the first time, he realized that being human was not a weakness. It was a strength born of courage, intelligence, and a heart willing to act with compassion even in the face of overwhelming odds. And somewhere deep within the shadows of the alien city, Lyra watched him, sensing that this human was indeed different. Perhaps in him she had found not only an ally, but something far more rare, a being. The morning light spilled over the alien city, reflecting off the smooth surfaces of towers and pathways. Ethan stood on a balcony overlooking the central plaza, the wind ruffling his hair. Today would not be a trial of puzzles or compassion. It would be something far more dangerous. Lyra approached silently, her flowing robes brushing the ground. Her silver eyes were sharp, focused. "The final trial begins today, Ethan," she said, her voice calm but carrying weight. "It will test not only your courage but your judgment under real danger. The outcome will affect not just you, but my people and possibly this entire planet." Ethan straightened. "I understand, Your Majesty. I am ready." Lyra studied him for a moment, then nodded. "You are brave, human. That is why I have chosen you for this. But remember, courage alone is not enough. Trust in yourself, trust in what you have learned, and trust in me." The ground beneath them trembled faintly. Ethan looked down to see distant clouds of smoke rising from the horizon. The war fleet had arrived. Alien ships, enormous and menacing, darkened the sky as they descended toward the city. Their hulls gleamed with weapons that could destroy entire districts. "Ethan," Lyra said, her voice sharp now, "they are here sooner than I expected. My army is strong, but the enemy is cunning. Conventional tactics will not save us. I need your insight." Ethan felt a surge of adrenaline. He had studied military strategies on Earth, improvisation under pressure, and combat simulations, but this was real. Lives were at stake, and failure was not an option. He stepped closer to the edge of the balcony, scanning the enemy fleet. "They are organized in 3 main squads," he said quickly. "The central ships are heavily armored, but their flanks are vulnerable. If we can split their formation, we might protect the city long enough for your forces to counterattack." Lyra's eyes glimmered. "Interesting. Your mind works differently than mine, Ethan. Most humans would see only danger. You see opportunity. We will follow your plan." Together they coordinated with the city's defenders. Ethan moved quickly, directing smaller squads to create distractions, using the city's terrain and energy barriers to funnel the enemy into traps. The Queen's soldiers, initially skeptical of human tactics, followed his instructions with precision. The enemy fleet responded with overwhelming firepower. Beams of energy sliced through the sky, shattering structures in the outskirts. Ethan dodged falling debris, issuing commands and adjusting strategies on the fly. His heart pounded, but he did not falter. Every human instinct, courage, adaptability, observation came alive in the chaos. Lyra fought alongside him, her presence both inspiring and terrifying. She moved with speed and precision, neutralizing threats with powerful energy pulses. But even she trusted Ethan's judgment, allowing him to guide their defense. Hours passed in a blur of strategy and action. Ethan led a small team on a critical mission to disable the central enemy command ship. They navigated the wreckage of the outskirts, avoiding patrols and using shadows to their advantage. Ethan's human ingenuity shone as he crafted devices from scraps of alien technology, turning them into traps that disrupted enemy systems. At the heart of the enemy fleet, Ethan climbed onto the hull of the command ship. He placed a small device, carefully timing its activation to coincide with the main attack. The ship's systems faltered, causing chaos among the enemy ranks. Their formation broke, leaving them vulnerable. Back in the city, Lyra watched the result with keen eyes. The enemy fleet faltered, disorganized and struggling against the Queen's defenders, aided by Ethan's plan. Victory, which had seemed impossible, now looked within reach. After the battle, Ethan returned to the Queen's side, exhausted but alive. The plaza was filled with wounded but recovering soldiers, both human and alien, all looking to him with a mixture of relief and admiration. Lyra approached him, her silver eyes softening. "You have done more than survive, Ethan. You have saved my people, my city, and perhaps even my planet. Your courage, your mind, your heart, they are unlike any human I have ever encountered." Ethan looked at her, still catching his breath. "I only did what I thought was right. I could not watch innocent lives be destroyed when I had a chance to help." Lyra smiled faintly, a rare expression that seemed almost gentle. She placed a hand on his shoulder, a touch that carried warmth and acknowledgement. "And that is why you are different. Most humans would act out of fear, selfishness, or doubt. You act with purpose, with care. That is why I trust you." For a moment they stood together, watching the city slowly recover from the chaos. Ethan could feel the bond between them growing, a connection built not on fear or obligation, but on respect and shared experience. "Tomorrow," Lyra said, her voice quiet but firm, "we will begin the next stage. You have proven your courage, but now we must see how you adapt to leadership, to responsibility, and to the choices that will shape the future of my people." Ethan nodded, understanding that this was more than a trial. It was a lesson. He had survived danger, guided armies, and saved lives, but the real test of his humanity was only beginning. Could he lead, inspire, and build trust among beings far different from himself? He intended to try. That night, as the alien city glowed under the light of distant stars, Ethan walked through the recovering streets. He helped wounded creatures, reassured nervous soldiers, and spoke with Lyra about strategies to protect the planet long term. She watched silently, learning from him as he had learned from her. In a quiet courtyard, Lyra finally spoke, her voice soft and personal. "Ethan, you are rare among your kind. I have seen many humans in my time, but you carry something extraordinary. Courage is one thing, intelligence another, but your heart, your willingness to act for the good of others is what makes you remarkable." Ethan felt a warmth in her words, an acknowledgement that went deeper than trust or respect. I do not know what to say," he admitted. "I only know that I want to help, and I want to prove that humans are capable of great things even in the vastness of space." Lyra stepped closer, her presence commanding yet comforting. "You have already proven it, Ethan, but there is more to come. You will face challenges that will test not only your skill, but your very soul. Are you ready?" Ethan looked into her eyes, seeing wisdom, power, and something else, something human-like in its warmth. "Yes," he said firmly. "I am ready." As they stood together under the alien sky, the stars casting gentle light across the city, Ethan realized that this was no longer just a test. It was the beginning of a partnership, one that could change the future of both humans and aliens alike. And somewhere deep within the city, Queen Lyra felt it too, a spark of connection, a recognition that this human was unlike any she had ever encountered. Courage, intelligence, compassion, all wrapped in one being. Perhaps, she thought, humanity was indeed capable of greatness beyond measure. The city rested, battered but alive, while outside, distant threats remained. Yet inside, a quiet confidence grew. Ethan had proven his worth, and the Queen had seen the potential of what humans could be. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but for now they had survived together. And survival, Ethan realized, was only the beginning of what humanity could achieve. The alien city lay in quiet recovery. The morning sun cast soft violet light over the towers, reflecting off the streams that still glowed faintly from the previous night's energy. Ethan moved through the city with purpose, observing the repairs and speaking quietly with the soldiers. His calm presence seemed to reassure both humans and aliens alike. Lyra followed silently, watching him from a short distance. Her silver eyes observed every gesture, every choice he made. She had seen many beings on this planet, but Ethan was different. He carried a courage and compassion rare even among her own people. His mind was clever, yes, but it was his heart that truly intrigued her. "You have done much for my city, Ethan," Lyra said softly as they walked together toward the central plaza. "Not only in battle, but in how you treat those around you. Many would have focused only on strategy, ignoring the small ones, the weak, the overlooked." Ethan shrugged lightly. "I believe every life has value. Every being, no matter how small, can make a difference. I just act on that belief." Lyra studied him silently, her expression unreadable for a moment. Then she smiled faintly, almost imperceptibly. "That is why I watch you. Humans are clever, but too often they are selfish. You are not. That is rare." The day's first task was simple but revealing. Lyra had Ethan lead a group of soldiers to rebuild a section of the city's energy conduits. It required coordination, planning, and careful attention to alien technology. Ethan directed the soldiers efficiently, showing patience when mistakes were made and offering guidance when obstacles arose. Watching him, Lyra noticed how he interacted with her people. He did not demand respect because of his species. He earned it through action, through kindness, through thoughtfulness. Even the youngest alien apprentices, normally shy and wary, approached him with trust and curiosity. "You have a gift, Ethan," Lyra said, as they rested in the courtyard after the task. "Your people may be small compared to the galaxy, but you carry something powerful, an ability to inspire, to unite, to act rightly even when it is difficult." Ethan looked down, unused to such praise. I do not know if I am worthy of it. I only try to do what is right." Lyra placed a hand lightly on his arm. Her touch was warm, almost comforting, a subtle contrast to the immense power she wielded. "Worthy is not a question. It is something you prove as you have. Courage, kindness, intelligence. They are proof enough. You have earned my trust, Ethan, and that is rare, very rare." The next hours passed in a blur of lessons, both for the humans and aliens. Ethan learned about the planet's history, its advanced technology, and the principles that guided its rulers. In return, he shared human concepts, adaptability, teamwork, improvisation. That fascinated Lyra. She asked questions, probed his reasoning, and sometimes challenged his decisions, not out of malice, but out of curiosity. As the sun dipped low, casting long shadows across the city, Lyra brought Ethan to the palace's highest tower. From there, the entire city spread out below them, illuminated by the soft glow of repair work and slowly waking citizens. "You have seen courage, intelligence, and skill," Lyra said, her voice low. "But there is one thing that remains to be understood. The bond between leader and people, between one being and another. That is what makes true strength." Ethan looked at her, unsure what she meant. Lyra smiled softly, her expression almost human in its gentleness. "Trust, Ethan, loyalty, connection. It is not enough to act alone. To be strong, one must inspire, protect, and care for others. Not just through deeds, but through presence, understanding, and guidance. That is what I wish to see in you." They descended into a large chamber where alien citizens had gathered. Some were injured, some were repairing structures, and some were simply watching the humans and Queen work together. Lyra turned to Ethan. "You will address them," she said. "Speak as one who has proven courage and heart. Speak as a human, and let them see why even beings different from them can lead with honor and compassion." Ethan's pulse quickened. He had never addressed such a diverse and intelligent audience before. Yet he stepped forward, taking a deep breath. His words were simple, honest, and direct. "My people come from a world far away," he began. "We are small, but we have learned that courage, wisdom, and kindness matter more than size or power. I stand here not to lead you because I am human, but because I have seen the value of your lives, the strength of your city, and the wisdom of your Queen. Together, we can protect this place, learn from each other, and build a future that is stronger than any one species alone." The room was silent for a moment. Then soft murmurs of approval began to ripple through the crowd. Lyra watched, her silver eyes reflecting pride. Ethan had done more than speak. He had inspired. He had earned not only her trust, but the trust of her people. Afterward, they walked through the city streets, helping citizens and checking on repairs. The connection between Ethan and Lyra deepened with every shared experience, every glance, every quiet word. For the first time, Ethan sensed that their bond was moving beyond mere respect. It was something stronger, something unspoken but powerful. Later, as evening settled over the city, Lyra led Ethan to a secluded courtyard. The soft glow of alien plants lit the area, creating an atmosphere of calm and reflection. She approached him slowly, her presence commanding yet gentle. "Ethan," she said softly, "you have proven more than courage, more than intelligence. You have shown heart, and that is something I have rarely seen. Not in my people, not in others who come from distant worlds. You are different, and I find that remarkable." Ethan met her gaze, feeling a mixture of pride, respect, and something deeper he had not expected. "I only do what feels right. I could not ignore what needed to be done. I want to help, to make a difference, to earn trust through action." Lyra nodded, her expression softening further. "And you have, more than you know. I see you differently now, Ethan. Not merely as a visitor, not merely as a human. You are someone I can rely on, someone whose presence I value, whose thoughts I respect, and whose courage I admire." For a long moment, silence hung between them. The city around them moved quietly, repairs continuing, citizens recovering from the recent battle. Ethan felt the weight of her words and the sincerity behind them. He realized that the bond they were forming was rare, built not on necessity but on mutual respect, trust, and understanding. "You are remarkable," Lyra whispered, stepping closer. She placed her hand lightly on his shoulder, a touch that sent a strange warmth through him. "I have watched many beings, tested many, but none have moved me as you have. Perhaps you are meant to be more than a visitor on my world." Ethan felt a rush of emotions, pride, humility, and a quiet sense of destiny. I do not know what to say. I only know that I wish to continue learning, helping, and proving that humans can rise to meet challenges no matter how great." Lyra's silver eyes held his, unblinking, thoughtful. "Then stay close, Ethan. The trials are not over. You have proven much, but the greatest challenges often come after trust is earned, after bonds are formed. I sense the future of this city, and perhaps of many worlds, may rest in part on what we build together." Ethan nodded, understanding that her words were more than praise. They were a recognition of partnership, of a connection that transcended species. He felt a sense of purpose unlike anything before. His courage, his intelligence, and his heart had carried him this far, and now he realized that the next steps would be as much about connection and guidance as about skill or bravery. They stood together in the quiet courtyard, the alien city stretching out before them, soft lights reflecting off walls and streams. Ethan felt the bond between them grow stronger, a subtle, unspoken connection that carried warmth, trust, and mutual respect. For the first time, he sensed that their partnership could shape not just the future of this city, but perhaps the fate of many worlds. And in that realization, he felt the true power of humanity, not just survival, but inspiration, leadership, and the ability to connect across boundaries, even those of species and stars. As the stars emerged in the alien sky, Ethan and Lyra remained together, silent but aware of the bond growing between them. Courage, intelligence, compassion, these had brought him here. And now, respect, trust, and connection would carry them forward into the challenges yet to come. The morning light over the alien city was gentle, yet carried a sense of anticipation. Ethan walked through the plaza, observing the final stages of repair and reconstruction. Buildings that had been damaged in the recent conflict now gleamed with renewed strength, and citizens moved with energy and optimism. Lyra approached him silently, her silver eyes reflecting both pride and something deeper. "Ethan," she said softly, "the trials have ended. You have shown courage, intelligence, compassion, and leadership. You have proven yourself in ways few humans ever could." Ethan felt a mix of relief and humility. "I only did what I could, Your Majesty. I tried to help, to guide, to protect. I never imagined I could earn your trust so fully." Lyra's expression softened further. She gestured for him to follow. Together they ascended the tallest tower in the city, where a panoramic view of the world stretched before them. The repaired towers reflected the soft light of the twin suns, and the streets below were alive with movement, a testament to resilience and hope. this city, my people, and perhaps even this world. Oh, much to you, Ethan, Lyra said quietly. But there is more than trust now. There is connection, a bond that cannot be tested by trial alone. Ethan looked at her, sensing the weight of her words. He had never expected this, yet he felt it too, the bond that had grown through shared challenges, mutual respect, and understanding. He realized that their connection went beyond duty or survival. You mean us? He asked carefully. Lyra nodded, her eyes steady. Yes, Ethan. You are different from any being I have ever encountered. You have shown strength in ways I did not expect from humans. You think, act, and care with a heart that inspires confidence and loyalty. I find that I cannot ignore it. Ethan's breath caught. He had faced alien fleets, solved complex challenges, and led soldiers to victory. But this was something entirely new. He felt the pull of something greater than duty, something deeply personal. Lyra stepped closer, her presence commanding yet gentle. I have observed many leaders, many warriors, many visitors from distant worlds. But you carry courage, intelligence, and heart together, and now I choose you. Not because I'm required to, not because duty demands it, but because I wish it. Ethan's heart raced. He had never imagined that a being as powerful and wise as the Queen would choose him, a human as her companion, as someone she trusted with her world and her heart. Lyra, he said softly, I do not know what to say. I am honored, truly, and I promise to act with care, respect, and courage in every step we take together. The Queen smiled faintly, a rare expression of warmth and approval. You have already proven that, Ethan, and that is why I can place my trust in you fully. From this moment onward, you are no longer merely a visitor. You are part of this world, part of my life. Ethan felt a surge of emotion, a mixture of pride, humility, and something deeper. I will not betray your trust, Lyra. I will protect your people, this city, and you, always. Lyra's silver eyes glimmered softly. I know, Ethan, that is why I chose you. Not only for what you have done, but for who you are. Courage, intelligence, compassion, and heart. These qualities define humans, though few truly show them. You have, and that is rare. For a long moment they stood together in silence, gazing over the city. The air carried a quiet calm, the hum of life returning to every corner of the world. Ethan realized that the challenges they had faced, the trials, the battle, the difficult choices had brought them here, not only as allies but as partners bound by trust and respect. Lyra placed her hand lightly on his shoulder. Ethan, there is one more thing. I will not only rely on you as a human who has proven remarkable. I will rely on you as someone who stands by my side. Together we will guide this world, protect it, and inspire all who live here. Ethan felt the weight and honor of her words. I will do everything I can, Lyra. For you, for your people, and for this world. The Queen's smile deepened slightly, her voice soft but firm. Then let us begin this new chapter together. You are rare, Ethan. Brave, wise, and compassionate. I have not seen such qualities combined in one being before. And now, you are mine as I am yours. We will face the future together. Ethan's heart raced as he absorbed her words. It was more than trust, it was recognition, connection, and a bond that transcended the differences between their species. He felt a quiet strength within him, the realization that humans could rise to greatness, inspire others, and earn the respect and loyalty of even the most powerful beings in the galaxy. As the twin suns set over the alien horizon, casting long shadows and golden light across the city, Ethan and Lyra stood together, their presence side by side a symbol of unity, courage, and hope. In the days that followed, Ethan continued to work with Lyra, guiding strategies, helping citizens, and learning more about the alien world. Each day deepened their bond, built on mutual respect and shared experience. Citizens came to admire him not only for his courage, but for the heart he showed in every action. Lyra observed him closely, noting how he handled challenges, inspired loyalty, and acted with unwavering integrity. She realized that this human was not just an ally, he was a partner, a companion, and someone whose presence would shape the future of her people. One evening, as the stars emerged in the alien sky, Lyra and Ethan stood on the highest balcony again. The city stretched below them, calm and thriving. She looked at him, her silver eyes reflecting pride and affection. You have done more than I imagined, Ethan, she said. Not only in action but in spirit. You have proven the true potential of humanity, and now you are part of my life as I am part of yours. Together we will face whatever challenges come, and nothing will break this bond. Ethan felt a warmth he had never known, a quiet certainty that this connection, built on courage, intelligence, compassion, and heart, was unbreakable. I will stand by you, Lyra, always, and I will do everything I can to protect this world and your people. The Queen smiled, her gaze steady and soft. And I, Ethan, will stand with you. Together we are stronger than anything the galaxy could bring. You are human, yes, but you are also extraordinary. That is why I chose you. That is why I trust you completely. You are mine, and I am yours. Ethan met her gaze, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment and purpose. The trials, the battles, the challenges, they had all led to this moment. Not just survival, not just trust, but partnership, unity, and connection that transcended worlds. The alien city shimmered beneath them, alive and thriving. Citizens moved with hope, inspired by courage, leadership, and the bond between their queen and the human who had proven himself. Ethan realized that humanity was capable of greatness, even in the vastness of the universe, and that even the most distant and powerful beings could recognize and honor those qualities. As night settled fully, Ethan and Lyra remained on the balcony side by side. The stars above reflected in their eyes, and the city below glowed softly in peaceful harmony. In that quiet moment, Ethan understood the full weight of what had happened. He had not only survived alien trials, won battles, and guided civilizations, but he had earned something far rarer: the trust, respect, and partnership of a being as extraordinary as the alien queen. And as Lyra held him close, murmuring, "You are mine now, Ethan," he felt the truth of her words resonate deep within him. He was human, yes, but he was also extraordinary. Together they would face the future, guide the planet, and prove that courage, intelligence, compassion, and heart could shape the galaxy. The stars above seemed to shine brighter that night, a silent witness to the bond forged between human and queen, between courage and heart, between two beings from different worlds who had found unity, trust, and purpose in one another. Ethan smiled quietly, knowing that this was only the beginning. The journey of their partnership would continue, but now, stronger than ever, they would face it together.